Listen to me right now. I don't care where you came from. I don't care what happened to you yesterday, last month, or 5 years ago. That pain you're carrying, that failure that keeps you up at night, that voice in your head telling you you're not good enough, today we're killing that voice. Today we're declaring war on mediocrity. You see, most people wake up and repeat the same patterns, the same excuses, the same sad story they've been telling themselves for years, but not you, not anymore. You picked up this message because somewhere deep inside, you know you were built for more. You were designed for greatness. But greatness doesn't come from motivation alone. It comes from discipline. It comes from making decisions when you don't feel like it. Every champion, every millionaire, every person who transformed their life had to do one thing first. They had to decide that their past would no longer control their future. Your background doesn't determine your destiny. Your bank account doesn't define your worth. That depression, that anxiety, that fear that's been holding you hostage, it's time to give it an eviction notice, because today is the day you reclaim your power. Today is the day you stop being a victim and start being a victor. The question isn't whether you can do it. The question is, are you willing to suffer through the process to get there? Are you willing to discipline yourself when nobody's watching? When your friends are sleeping, will you be grinding? When they're partying, will you be planning? Success isn't complicated. It's just consistently doing what unsuccessful people aren't willing to do. Let's talk about that pain you're running from, that trauma, that heartbreak, that business that failed, that relationship that shattered you into 1,000 pieces. Here's what I need you to understand. Your greatest comeback will be birthed from your greatest setback. Every successful person you admire went through hell first. They just didn't quit in the middle of it. They used it as fuel. They transformed their pain into purpose. You think you're broken? You're not broken. You're breaking through. There's a difference. The caterpillar doesn't know it's becoming a butterfly when it's trapped in that cocoon. It feels like death. It feels like the end. But it's actually the beginning. Your depression isn't here to destroy you. It's revealing what needs to die so the real you can live. And I know it hurts. I know there are days when getting out of bed feels like climbing a mountain. I know there are nights when your mind won't shut off, replaying every mistake, every regret, every what if. But listen carefully. You are not your thoughts. You are not your feelings. You are the consciousness that observes them. And that means you have the power to change them. Mental health isn't a luxury. It's a necessity. You cannot build an empire with a broken mind. You cannot chase millions when you can't chase away negative thoughts. So the work starts here, in your head, in your heart. Get therapy if you need it. There's no shame in that. The strongest people I know have coaches, therapists, mentors. Why? Because they understand that success is an inside job first. Now, let's talk about discipline, because this is where dreams go to die. Everybody wants to be rich. Everybody wants the house, the car, the freedom, the respect, but nobody wants to do the work that wealth requires. Let me tell you something about money. Money is attracted to discipline. Money runs away from chaos. You cannot be financially wealthy while being mentally and physically broke. It doesn't work that way. Show me your morning routine and I'll show you your future. You wake up at noon, scrolling through social media, complaining about being broke. That's not a money problem. That's a discipline problem. Wealthy people understand that every single day is an opportunity to invest in themselves. They read, they learn, they take care of their bodies because they know that their body is the vehicle that carries their dreams. You want to get rich? Start by getting healthy. Start by getting consistent. Start by showing up even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. Because feelings are liars. Your feelings will tell you to quit right before your breakthrough. Your feelings will tell you that you're tired when you've barely started. Discipline is doing it anyway. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. You set a goal to work out 5 days a week? Do it. You set a goal to save 20% of your income? Do it. You said you'd read for 30 minutes every day? Do it. Stop negotiating with yourself. Stop giving yourself permission to fail before you even begin. The word decide comes from the Latin word meaning to cut off. When you truly decide, you cut off all other possibilities. Your health is your wealth, and I'm not just talking about money. What good is $1 million if you're too sick to enjoy it? What good is success if you're having panic attacks every other day? What good is a dream life if you're too depressed to live it? This is why transformation must be holistic. You've got to work on your body, your mind, and your spirit simultaneously. Start moving your body. I don't care if it's walking, running, lifting weights, or dancing in your living room. Movement creates momentum. When you move your body, you change your biochemistry. You release endorphins. You build confidence. You prove to yourself that you can commit to something and follow through. And that confidence, it spills over into every area of your life. Suddenly, you're negotiating better at work. You're setting boundaries in relationships. You're taking risks you wouldn't never taken before. All because you proved you could do 10 push-ups every morning. Now let's talk about what you're feeding your mind. Are you consuming content that elevates you or destroys you? Are you listening to people who inspire growth or gossip? Are you reading books that challenge your thinking or scrolling through negativity for hours? Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant will grow. If you plant weeds of doubt, fear, and negativity, that's what will flourish. But if you plant seeds of possibility, faith, and action, you'll harvest a completely different life. Guard your mind like your life depends on it, because it does. Turn off the news that makes you anxious. Unfollow people who drain your energy. Let me tell you something about the wealthy mindset that poor people don't understand. Rich people don't wait for permission. They don't wait for the right time. They don't wait until they feel ready. They act. They fail. They learn. They adjust. They act again. You want to know the real difference between the rich and the broke? It's not intelligence. It's not connections. It's not even luck. It's their relationship with failure. Poor people see failure as final. Rich people see failure as feedback. When a business doesn't work, they don't say, I'm a failure. They say, that approach didn't work. What's next? See the difference? One is an identity. The other is an event. You are not your results. You are the person creating the results. And if you don't like your results, you have the power to create new ones. But it starts with taking responsibility. No more blaming your parents, your circumstances, your education, the economy, the government. Yes, life might have dealt you a bad hand. Yes, you might have started 10 steps behind everyone else. Yes, it's not fair. But so what? What are you going to do about it? Are you going to let your excuses become your eulogy? Or are you going to let your obstacles become your opportunity? Everything you want is on the other side of hard. Everything. The body you want, it's on the other side of hard. The bank account you want, it's on the other side of hard. The peace of mind you want, it's on the other side of hard. There's no way around it. There's no shortcut. There's no hack. There's only through. Now, I want to address something that's keeping you stuck. You're addicted to comfort. You're addicted to easy. You're addicted to immediate gratification. And that addiction is killing your future. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you're choosing to stay exactly where you are. Every time you hit snooze, instead of getting up to work on your dream, you're voting for your current reality. Every time you spend money you don't have on things you don't need, you're choosing to stay broke. Your choices are not neutral. They're either taking you closer to your goals or further away. There's no middle ground. And the scary part, most of your choices are unconscious. You're operating on autopilot, running programs that were installed in your childhood, programs of lack, programs of unworthiness, programs of limitation. But here's the beautiful truth. You can reprogram yourself. You can install new software. It starts with awareness. Pay attention to your patterns. When do you self-sabotage? When do you choose comfort over growth? When do you talk yourself out of opportunities? Once you see the pattern, you can break it. But you have to be honest with yourself, brutally honest. You have to look in the mirror and admit, I'm the reason I'm not where I want to be. Not completely, but partially. I've made choices that led me here, and if my choices led me here, my choices can lead me somewhere else. That's empowerment. That's taking your power back. That's the beginning of real transformation. Stop waiting for someone to save you. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Let's get real about mental health, because this is the silent killer of dreams. You can have all the strategy, all the discipline, all the opportunity in the world, but if your mind is at war with itself, you won't make it. Depression isn't weakness. Anxiety isn't a character flaw. Trauma isn't your fault. But healing is your responsibility. Nobody's coming to fix you. Nobody's coming to make it better. You have to do the work. And yes, it's hard. It's some of the hardest work you'll ever do. It's easier to numb yourself with Netflix, alcohol, shopping, or social media. It's easier to avoid the pain than to process it. But easy has a price, and that price is your future. You want to know why you're not where you want to be? Check your coping mechanisms. What are you using to avoid feeling? What are you using to run from yourself? The truth is, you can't outrun your pain. It will always catch up. It'll show up in your relationships. It'll show up in your health. It'll show up in your bank account. Unhealed trauma creates patterns of self-destruction. You date the same type of toxic person in a different body. You sabotage every good opportunity that comes your way. You spend money to fill a void that money can't fill. This is why healing isn't optional. It's essential. Find a therapist. Join a support group. Start journaling. Meditate. Pray. Do whatever it takes to clean out the emotional basement, because you cannot build a skyscraper on a cracked foundation. You have to do the inner work before the outer work will stick. I want you to understand something about getting rich that nobody talks about. Wealth is a test of character. Money doesn't change you. It amplifies who you already are. If you're insecure when you're broke, you'll be insecure when you're rich, just with better clothes. If you're unhappy when you're broke, you'll be unhappy when you're rich, just in a bigger house. This is why you must build yourself while you're building your bank account. You must become the type of person who can handle success, because success without character is just a catastrophe waiting to happen. Look at all the lottery winners who go broke. Look at all the celebrities who have everything but are miserable. Why? Because they got the external reward without doing the internal work. Don't make that mistake. As you're grinding, as you're building, as you're sacrificing, work on your character, work on your integrity, work on your gratitude, work on your generosity. Become the type of person who deserves the life you're trying to build. And here's what's interesting. When you become that person, the money often follows naturally, because people want to do business with people of character. People want to invest in people they trust. People want to work with people who have integrity. Your reputation becomes your currency. Your character becomes your capital. So yes, chase the bag, build the empire, stack the money, but don't lose yourself in the process. Don't sacrifice your values for $1. Don't compromise your integrity for a come-up, because trust me, it's not worth it. Let me tell you what separates the dreamers from the doers: execution. Everybody has ideas. Everybody has goals. Everybody has a vision board. But how many people actually execute? How many people actually do the boring, repetitive, unglamorous work that success requires? Not many. That's why not many people are successful. Success is in the daily disciplines. It's in the small decisions that nobody sees. It's in the character you build when nobody's watching. It's showing up on day 47 when you haven't seen any results yet. It's making the sales call after you've been rejected 20 times. It's going to the gym even though you gained weight this week. It's saving money even though your friends are flexing on Instagram. It's studying even though the test is months away. This is where champions are made, not in the spotlight, not in the moments of victory, but in the dark, lonely hours when quitting would be easier than continuing. Let me ask you something. What are you doing when nobody's watching? Because that's who you really are. That's your real character. Are you cutting corners? Are you giving 50% effort? Are you doing just enough to get by? Or are you giving it everything you've got? Are you outworking everyone around you? Are you becoming obsessed with excellence? Your private discipline determines your public success. What you do in secret will eventually be rewarded in public. But you have to trust the process. You have to believe that the work you're putting in is creating a future you can't see yet. You're planting seeds underground. Nothing looks like it's happening, but roots are forming. Here's a truth that might hurt. You're comfortable with struggle. You're comfortable with struggle. You've been unhealthy so long. You're comfortable with it. You've been depressed so long. And comfort is the enemy of growth. Even negative comfort, even painful comfort. It's still familiar, and familiar feels safe even when it's destroying you. This is why change is so hard. You're not just fighting external circumstances. You're fighting your own nervous system that wants to keep you exactly where you are. Your brain is designed to keep you safe, not to make you successful. It will resist change. It will create fear. It will manufacture anxiety. It will give you 1,000 reasons why you should quit, why you should stay small, why you should play it safe. But you have to override it. You have to become comfortable being uncomfortable. You have to learn to live in the tension between where you are and where you want to be. That's where growth happens. That's where transformation occurs. Not in comfort, not in certainty, not in safety, but in the messy middle, in the unknown, in the scary place where you've left what's familiar but haven't arrived at your destination yet. That's the gap. That's where most people quit. They can't handle the uncertainty. They can't handle not knowing if it's going to work out. But that's exactly where faith comes in. Faith isn't believing it will be easy. Faith is believing it will be worth it. Faith is taking the next step even though you can't see the staircase. Faith is trusting that the work you're doing today is building the tomorrow you desire. Let's talk about the company you keep, because this is critical. Show me your 5 closest friends, and I'll show you your future. If your friends are broke and comfortable with it, you'll stay broke. If your friends are negative and complaining all the time, you'll stay negative. If your friends have no ambition, no drive, no hunger for more, you'll lose yours too. This isn't about being better than anyone. This is about protecting your energy, your vision, your dreams. Not everyone deserves access to your transformation. Some people need to be loved from a distance. Some relationships need to end so new ones can begin. And I know that's hard. I know some of these people are family. I know you've known them your whole life. But if they're not supporting your growth, if they're marking your dreams, if they're constantly pulling you back to your old self, you have to make a choice. You can please them, or you can fulfill your purpose. You can't do both. Successful people surround themselves with other successful people. Healthy people surround themselves with other healthy people. Winners surround themselves with other winners. Not because they're arrogant, but because they understand that proximity is power. You become like the people you spend the most time with. Their habits become your habits. Their mindset becomes your mindset. Their standards become your standards. So if you want to level up, you need to upgrade your circle. Join a mastermind, hire a coach, attend conference. Put yourself in rooms where you're the least successful person there. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it's intimidating, but that's where growth happens. Now let's address the biggest lie you've been telling yourself. I'll start tomorrow. I'll start Monday. I'll start next month. I'll start when I have more money, more time, more resources, more clarity. No, you won't. You'll never have more time than you have right now. You'll never have more clarity than you'll gain by taking action. You don't need more. You need to start with what you have. Stop waiting for perfect conditions because they don't exist. Stop waiting to feel motivated because motivation is fleeting. You know what's reliable? Discipline, commitment, decision. You need to decide today, right now, in this moment, that you're done living beneath your potential. You're done making excuses. You're done playing small. You're done letting fear win. Make the decision. Not tomorrow, not next week. Right now. And once you make the decision, you'll find the way. You'll find the time. You'll find the resources. You'll find the energy. Because decision creates momentum. And momentum creates results. And results creates confidence. And confidence creates more action. It's a beautiful cycle. But it starts with a decision. One decision. One moment, one choice to stop talking about it and start being about it. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm saying it's going to be worth it. There will be days when you want to quit. There will be moments when you question everything. There will be setbacks and failures and disappointments. But if you stay committed to the vision, if you trust the process, if you keep showing up day after day after day, you will transform your life. Not might, not maybe. You will. Let me tell you what nobody wants to hear. Your life is a direct reflection of the standards you've accepted. If you're accepting mediocre relationships, mediocre health, mediocre finances, mediocre effort, you'll get a mediocre life. But the moment you raise your standards, the moment you say, I'm no longer available for this level of existence, everything changes. Now, the world might not change immediately, your bank account might not change immediately, but you change immediately. And when you change, your choices change. And when your choices change, your results change. It's a chain reaction. But it starts with you deciding that you deserve better. Not because you've earned it, not because you're perfect, but because you're here, because you're alive, because you have potential that's being wasted. And that should make you angry. That should light a fire in you that can't be put out. Look at where you are right now. Are you satisfied? If the answer is no, what are you going to do about it? Because complaining doesn't change anything. Wishing doesn't change anything. Hoping doesn't change anything. Action changes everything. Consistent, disciplined, relentless action. The kind of action that scares you. The kind of action that makes your friends think you're crazy. The kind of action that requires sacrifice. That's what transformation requires. And most people aren't willing to pay that price. They want the results without the sacrifice. They want the harvest without planting seeds. They want the victory without the battle. But that's not how life works. You get out what you put in. You reap what you sow. So what are you sowing today? I want to leave you with this final thought. You're running out of time, not to scare you, but to wake you up. Every day you wait is a day you'll never get back. Every opportunity you let pass is one less chance to create the life you want. Time is the one resource you can't get more of. You can always make more money. You can always build more relationships. You can always learn new skills, but you can't make more time. So what are you doing with the time you have? Are you investing it or wasting it? Are you building or just existing? Are you growing or just going through the motions? Your life is happening right now, not when you graduate, not when you get the promotion, not when you lose the weight. Right now, this is it. This is your life, and you get to decide what to do with it. You get to decide who you become. You get to decide what legacy you leave, but you have to decide, and you have to act today, right now, in this moment. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the perfect plan. Stop waiting to feel ready. You'll never feel ready. Do it scared. Do it unsure. Do it imperfect. Just do it. Because on the other side of that fear, on the other side of that discomfort, on the other side of that risk is the life you've been dreaming about. It's waiting for you, but you have to go get it. Nobody's going to hand it to you. So I'm asking you, right here, right now, what's the one thing you've been avoiding that you know you need to do? What's the one decision you've been putting off? What's the one risk you've been too scared to take? What will you do today, not tomorrow, not next week, but today, to prove to yourself that you're serious about changing your life?